your knees, your shoulders, your neck. Almost every pain you deal with traces back to the same handful of missing movements. These 6 exercises fix 95% of it. Shaolin monks have used them for centuries to move pain-free into their 70s and 80s, and today, I'm giving you all 6, in the exact order that makes them work. But there's one exercise on this list the monks guarded the longest. Because once you understand the mechanism behind it, you'll never look at neck or shoulder pain the same way again. Most of us sit for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Your hips forget how to open. Your upper back forgets how to rotate. And by the time pain actually shows up, in your knees, your neck, your lower back, the real cause is almost always somewhere else on the body entirely. Shaolin monks trained barefoot on stone floors for hours a day, and that training was never really about strength. It was about keeping movement most people quietly lose by the time they're 30. And here's the part that upsets people every time I say it. If your lower back hurts, stretching your lower back is often the last thing that actually fixes it. Drop a comment if you disagree, because the research backs this up. And exercise 4 is going to show you exactly why. Exercise 6 is the one I saved for last. It's the movement monks use to protect against neck and shoulder pain that most people never even connect to their headaches. And once you see the mechanism behind it, it changes how you think about pain, period. And exercise 4? That's the mistake almost everyone makes when they try to fix a stiff back. We're flipping it completely upside down. Ankle mobility rocks. Everything you do stands on your ankles, so if they're locked up, your knees and hips compensate for it every single step. Kneel down, tuck your toes under, and gently rock your hips forward over your ankle until you feel a stretch in the front of the joint. Keep your heel glued to the floor the entire time. The second it lifts, you've lost the stretch. Rock forward and back slowly for about a minute per side. Easier version. Hold on to a chair for balance. Harder version. Add a slight pause at the deepest point of each rock. Do this consistently, and you'll notice your squat depth and your balance improve almost immediately. But loose ankles mean nothing if your hips are still locked. And that's exactly what we're fixing next. Deep squat hold. Your hips sit at the center of nearly everything your body does, from protecting your lower back to keeping your knees tracking properly. And modern research on joint loading shows that simply spending time in a deep range restores mobility faster than stretching alone. Drop into the lowest squat you can manage, feet slightly wider than hip width. Once you're down there, don't just sit still. Shift your weight side to side and let your hips explore the position. The mistake most people make is bouncing to try to force depth. Instead, sink and breathe, and let gravity do the work. If it's too difficult, hold on to a door frame or sturdy furniture for support. If it's too easy, add a light pause and press your elbows into your knees to open the hips further. 30 seconds, 2 to 3 rounds, and you'll feel your ankles, hips, and lower back all release together. Exercise 3 is where things get uncomfortable for anyone who sits at a desk all day. Couch stretch. When you sit for hours, your hip flexors, especially the deep ones that attach near your spine, stay shortened for so long they eventually pull your pelvis forward. And that's one of the quiet causes of chronic lower back tightness. Get into a lunge with your back knee propped against a wall or couch, then slowly bring your torso upright. If you already feel a strong pull through the front of your hip, stay right there. If not, gently push your hips forward and back to increase the stretch. The mistake is arching your lower back to fake more range. Keep your ribs stacked over your hips instead. Beginners can prop the back foot lower. Advanced students can lift the front foot onto a step. 1 to 2 minutes per side, and that dragging tightness across your low back starts to ease. Exercise 3 of 6. This is usually the point where people tune out. Stay with me because exercise 4 is the one that actually explains why your back keeps tightening up in the first place. Thoracic spine rotation. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. When the lower back feels tight, people stretch the lower back. But the lower back isn't built to rotate much at all. Your upper back is. When your thoracic spine stops rotating, your lower back is forced to twist to compensate. And that's what monks actually trained to prevent. Get on all fours, place one hand behind your head, and rotate your elbow up toward the ceiling. following it with your eyes. Then thread it back down under your body toward the opposite arm. Keep your hips completely still. If they're rocking, the movement is coming from the wrong joint. Beginners can shrink the range. Advanced students can hold a light weight for extra resistance. 10 slow reps per side, and you'll feel the tightness in your lower back start to loosen without touching your lower back at all. That closes the mistake loop. 3 exercises left, and the strongest one on this entire list is still coming. Shoulder dislocates with a stick. Rounded shoulders and desk posture pull your chest forward and lock your shoulder blades in place, and physiotherapists use this exact drill to restore the overhead range that gets lost first. Grip a stick, towel, or resistance band wider than shoulder width, and slowly raise your straight arms overhead and back behind you, then return to the front. The mistake is bending your elbows to cheat the range. Keep them locked straight the whole way through. As it gets easier, walk your hands closer together to raise the difficulty. 1 to 2 minutes, and you'll feel your chest and shoulders open in a way normal stretching rarely achieves. What's coming up next is the reason I saved exercise 6 for last. It's not just a shoulder fix, it's the one monks used for the neck pain and tension headaches almost nobody traces back to this joint. That's technically 6, but before you go, there's one more thing. The order you do these in decides whether they actually work at all. The neck and cervical mobility flow. Shaolin monks trained neck mobility specifically because it protected them during rolls and falls. And physiotherapy research on the upper cervical spine backs up exactly why this matters for you. Most tension headaches and neck stiffness come from a handful of joints at the very top of your neck losing their small rotational range, not from weak neck muscles like most people assume. Sit tall, tuck your chin slightly, and slowly rotate your head to look over one shoulder, holding for a breath, then return to center before rotating to the other side. Follow that with slow nods, small yes motions right at the base of your skull, not your whole neck bending. The mistake is cranking the range with momentum. This only works when it's slow and controlled. Beginners can use their hand to gently guide the rotation. Advanced students can add resistance by pressing their hand against their head as they turn. 1 minute of rotations, 1 minute of nods, and that's the exercise monks guarded the longest. Do these 6 in this order: ankles, hips, hip flexors, thoracic spine, shoulders, neck, every single day, and give it 2 weeks before you judge it. The sequence matters because each one unlocks the joint below it for the one that comes after. Skip the order and you're working against yourself.